Reading from Nectar of Devotion, Ability of the Candidates. Further classification of the neophyte devotee is made in the Bhagavatam. It is stated there that four classes of men, namely those who are distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are inquisitive, those who are wise, begin devotional service and come to the Lord for relief in the matter of respect. They go into some place of worship and pray to God for mitigation of material distress, or for some economic development, or to satisfy their physical needs. And the wise man who simply realizes the greatness of God often counts among the neophytes. Such beginners can be elevated to the second class of first-class platform if this was to be achieved. An example of the neophyte class is Maharaj Dhruva. He was in need of his father's kingdom and therefore engaged himself in devotional service to God. Then, in the end, when he was completely purified, he declined to accept any material benediction from God. Similarly, the gender was distressed and prayed to Krishna for protection, after which he became a pure devotee. Similarly, Sanat, Sanatan, Sananda, and Sanat Kumar were all in the category of wise, living persons. They were also attracted to Krishna. A similar thing happened to the assemblage in the Naimishrine forest. They were inquisitive, but always asking suitable something. Thus they achieved the association of pure devotee and became pure devotees themselves. So that is the way of elevating oneself, in whatever condition one may be. If he is fortunate enough to associate with pure devotees, then very quickly he is elevated to the second class or first class. These four types of devotees have been described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavatam. They have all been accepted. Without becoming pious, no one can come to devotional service. It is explained in Bhagavad Gita that only one who has continually executed pious activities and whose sinful reactions in life completely stopped can take to Krishna consciousness. Others cannot. The neophyte devotees are classified into 4 groups: the distressed, those in need of money, the inquisitive, and wise, according to their gradations of pious activities. Without pious activities, a man is in a distressed condition who becomes an agnostic, a communist, or something like that. Because he does not firmly believe in God, he thinks that he can adjust his distressed condition by total disbelief in him. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, Text 21. Swarnam Vitagra Vasuhe Makara
Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara.
Shri Shubhai Sita Vidya
Shitreshu Yoga Sadavigya Maya.
Shri Shubhe Shubhatma Yoga
Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge.
Adhyatma Vikrama Gatim Lavita
Adhyatma Vibrahma Gatim Labete.
Swarnam Vitagra Vasuhe Makara
Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara.
Shri Shubhe Sita Vidya
Shitreshu Yoge Sadavigya Maya.
Shitreshu Deshu Tatma Yoge
Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge.
Adat Adhyatma Vikrama Gatim
Adhyatma Vibrahma Gatim Labete.
Swarnam Vitagra Vasuhe Makara
Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara.
Shitreshu Yoge Sada Vidya
Shitreshu Yoge Sadavigya Maya.
Shitreshu Deshu Tatma Yoge
Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge.
Adat Adhyatma Vikrama Gatim
Vibrahma Gatim Labete. Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara. Shitreshu Yoge Sadavigya Maya. Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge. Adhyatma Vibrahma Gatim Labete. Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara. Shitreshu Yoge Sadavigya. Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge. Adhyatma Vibrahma Gatim Labete.
Swarnam yatha groshuhe makara
Swarnam Yatagrava Suhimakara.
Kshetreshu yoge sadhavidyapnaya
Shitreshu Yoge Sadavigya Maya.
Kshetreshu dejeshu tathatma yoge
Shitreshu Deveshu Tatma Yoge.
Adhyatma vidramagati labheta
Vibrahma Gatim Labete.
Swarnam
Swarnam
Gold
Gold
Yata
Stones of gold
Stones of gold.
Emakara
Hemaka.
Expert to know
So to know about gold.
Shitreshu
Shitreshu
in the gold mines
in the gold mines.
Yoga
Yoga.
various processes
Various processes.
that are
Tatavigya.
expert to understand the gold is
An
Expert to understand where gold is.
Atmaya
Atmaya.
and easily obtained
Very easy obtained.
Shitreshu
Shitreshu
within the material fields
within the material fields.
Devishu
Devishu
human bodies and all the rest of the 8,400,000 different bodily forms.
the human body is on the rest of the 8.4 million different bodily forms.
Tatha
Tatha
similarly
similarly.
Atma Yoge
Atma yoge
the spiritual process
by spiritual processes.
and it. One who is expert in understanding the distinction between spirit
One is expert in understanding the distinction between spirit and
Brahmavatam,
Brahman,
perfection in spiritual life,
perfection in spiritual life,
Abheda,
the Veda,
reality, translation. An expert geologist can understand where there is gold and by various processes can extract it from the gold ore. Similarly, a spiritually advanced person can understand how the spiritual particle exists within the body, and thus by cultivating spiritual knowledge, he can attain perfection in spiritual life. However, as one who is not expert cannot understand where there is gold, a foolish person who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge cannot understand how to put this within the body. He should be an expert geologist
Expert geologist.
can understand where there is gold
and understand where there is gold,
and by various processes
and by various processes,
can extract it from the gold ore.
and extract it from the gold ore.
Similarly,
Similarly,
a spiritually advanced person
a spiritually advanced person
can understand how the spiritual particle
can understand how the spiritual particle
exists within the body,
exists within the body,
and thus by cultivating spiritual knowledge,
and thus by cultivating spiritual knowledge,
he can attain perfection in spiritual life.
he can attain perfection in spiritual life.
However,
However,
as one who is not expert
as one who is not expert
cannot understand where there is gold,
cannot understand where there is gold,
a foolish person
a foolish person
who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge
who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge
cannot understand how the spirit exists within the body.
cannot understand how the spirit exists within the body. Yeah.
Here is a very good example concerning spiritual understanding. Foolish rascals, including so-called pianists, philosophers, and scientists, cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body because they are lacking in spiritual knowledge. The Vedas enjoin tad vijnatam sadguru bhagavatam. To understand spiritual knowledge, one must approach a qualified spiritual master. Unless one has been trained in geology, one cannot detect gold in stone. Similarly, unless one has been trained by a spiritual master, he cannot understand what is spirit and what is matter. Here it is said, Yogaita Abhijnanam. This indicates that one who has connected himself with spiritual knowledge can understand that there is a spiritual soul in the body. However, one who is in an animalistic conception of life and has no spiritual function cannot understand. As an expert mineralogist or geologist can understand where there is gold and can then invest his money to dig there and chemically separate the gold from the ore, an expert spiritualist can understand where the soul is within matter. One who has not been trained cannot distinguish between gold and stone. Similarly, fools and rascals who have not learned from an expert spiritual master what is the soul and what is matter cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. To understand such knowledge, one must be trained in the mystic legal system, or finally in the Bhakti legal system, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 1855. Bhakti Mam Abhijanati. Unless one takes shelter of the Bhakti yoga process, one cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins by teaching Dev Smin Tade Gomaram. As the body soul continually passes in this body from body to youth to old age, the soul suddenly passes into death. The self-realized soul is not promoted by such a change. Bhagavad Gita 2:13. Thus, the first instruction is that one should understand that the soul is within the body and is transmigrating from one body to another. This is the beginning of spiritual knowledge. Any person who is not expert in understanding the science or is unwilling to understand the remains of the body conception of life, or in the animalistic conception of life as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Every member of human society should clearly understand the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, for For only in this way can one be spiritually elevated and ultimately give up false illusory knowledge by which one thinks, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine. This dogfish conception should be rejected immediately. One should be prepared to understand the spirit soul and the supreme spirit of God, who are eternally related. Thus, one may return home back to God, having solved all the problems of life. Om Jnana Jnana Chakshura Shri Chaitanya Devastam Sthapitam Yudhite Swayam Rupapadam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram. So just say the verse again. The Lord's eight separated material energies. Sorry. An expert geologist can understand various gold and by various processes can extract it from the gold ore. Suddenly, as a spiritually advanced person can understand how the spiritual particle exists within the body, and thus by cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can attain perfection in spiritual knowledge. However, as one who is not expert cannot understand various gold, a foolish person who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge cannot understand how the spirit exists in the body. So this is Prahlad Maharaj is instructing his school friends. Previously he's been instructing them on various subjects like the utility of household life and so many other topics. And now he's talking about the soul. He's talking about Atma, which is the soul, the difference between the soul and the body. And he's giving the example of a geologist who can actually detect gold within an ore, with the gold within the gold zone. And because of that knowledge, you can extract gold ore from that stone. And similarly, a spiritualist who understands that there's a soul within the body, he can start cultivating spiritual knowledge and act in such a way that he's actually acting as a spirit soul, not his body. So this is actually considered real knowledge to actually understand what is the soul, what is the body, what is the purpose of this life, what is the connection between the soul and the super soul. And this can only be understood in the human life. They don't have this capacity or intelligence to actually inquire about such subject matters. They're only thinking of four things: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. There's only four things that they actually are interested in. And if human beings are not asking such questions or using their intelligence to ask kind of questions, then they're living more or less the same way as animals are, just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So, and most people actually, unfortunately, are living in this condition that they're not actually inquiring about higher subject matters. They're only interested in sleeping, eating, mating, defending, and is maybe in a bit more polished way than animals, but still the same point, same subjects they're interested in. And Prabhupada calls this a doggish mentality. It's interesting. Doggish mentality. So, and this is what the modern education system is mainly concentrating on, is these four subject matters. And so they're not living up to the human form of life, and they're not educated people to live to the human form of life. And how to understand, how to understand that there is a soul, and then there's also a super soul. How do we understand this? We can't see the soul and the super soul. So how do we understand this?
By accepting what our acharyas are trying to teach us and the great personalities are trying to teach us.
Yeah, that's the best way. And we can't see, but they have realized knowledge, so they can practice truth that we don't understand. Anybody else? How can we understand that there is a soul and a super soul in the body? We've never seen the soul, we've never seen the super soul.
I know, like, for myself, definitely from what the Guru said, which is what I said is the best way. Through meditation, for example, this meditation, whether that's mental meditation or any other kind of meditation, it helps me become like an observer of my thoughts. So instead of being in my thoughts, I start to watch my thoughts and see myself as different from thoughts. So even though I could say that's consciousness, but I'm becoming that consciousness, aware and observer. So then I see myself different from the body. So who am I? So I'm not this body, and now I can see I'm mindful for that. Intelligence, they will start to see myself. To make sure justice.
See yourself as an observer rather than being that body, and you're observing what's happening.
So I found that very helpful, and it's, everyone can have that realization with life just goes so it's the body, and they can get that began realization for themselves.
Nice.
So yesterday I was listening to a class and the speaker very beautifully said that when someone dies, we don't say that, oh, this person is died, let's take, like, here's the dead body, let's take it to the cemetery. We don't address the body with a name. Whereas I think in the purport of the shloka comes, Tatha Dehantara Prapta, like the soul moves on to the next body and then we call the previous body a body. Like, take the dead body to the cemetery or to the graveyard.
We say that the person passed away, it means that they passed on, they're not there in that body now. So, and also if you see, like, even in today's society, we see that there's so many cases of past life regression, past life experiences, and out of body experiences. So these are all examples of how we can understand practically and scientifically there must be something there that's not this body, So there is ways that we can perceive that there is a soul, a super soul, and Prabhupada says that the Lord is actually not perceivable by the material senses. But when one engages in the service of the Lord, then the Lord completely reveals this to our heart. And by this process, the more and more we take shelter of the Lord, the more we see His hand everywhere. We see it everywhere. Everything is His creation. So that way we can perceive the Lord. But it's only by the Lord's mercy we can actually perceive these things and be given that realization of understanding. And the formula Krishna gives the Bhagavad Gita, and it's by faith, by devotion, by the accepting the fact that we're servant of the Lord, we're endeavoring to serve. This is the formula for the Lord's mercy. And Krishna himself says that the Bhagavad Gita, that devotion cannot be more, but Jagannatha. So the others, like the philosophers here, it says the Gyanis, philosophers and scientists, they cannot understand the existence of the soul and the body because they're lacking in spiritual knowledge. So they don't get the proper, because they're not following the proper formula, they follow their own formula, which is probably the word. And so they don't get the proper results, that's why they can't understand what's the soul, what's the soul. But if we see Krishna gives this vital knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita, in the very second chapter, Krishna is talking to the soul. Right from the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us this, it's basically the most important knowledge, isn't it? Because without that, there's no real meaning to existence in the body, the purpose of life. If we don't think that there is a soul and there's a body, everything, then what's the point of anything? doesn't make any sense. So Krishna describes so many things about the soul in the second chapter from the beginning, so that you understand the difference between the body and the soul. And this knowledge is like, it's so important, it's vital, for our spiritual advancement. So Krishna gives different descriptions of the soul. Can anyone remember? Qualities of the soul that Krishna explains in the second chapter.
Cannot be born, most then
So it can't be burnt, can't be destroyed by any weapons, can't be moistened in water with by the wind. He's indestructible, insoluble, immeasurable, everlasting, exists everywhere. He can exist on land, water, air, fire, any planet, unchangeable, imperceptible, inconceivable, immutable, without change. So these are all the qualities of the soul. It's like, and compared to the body, Krishna says the material body is perishable and temporary. So the material body is like, it hasn't got any of these nice qualities. It's just like, it's the total opposite, it's perishable, temporary, it's full of it's composed of 24 elements. So we've got earth, water, fire, air, ether, those elements. Then there's the 5 modifying senses, and then there's 5 working senses, then 5 sense objects, there's the mind, intelligence, false, evil. So altogether, it's 24 elements.
24 is the
Or the Pradhan. So this is like the field of activity Krishna described in chapter 13 of the Bhagavatam. He says that the soul is atomic, it's like a spiritual atom. It's smaller than material atoms, so maybe they can detect material atoms by the microscope. But it's not possible to detect spiritual atoms. And it's situated within the heart. So the description is given in the scriptures that spiritual atoms, you see it's 10,000 the size of a hair.
Yeah.
So it's atomic, it's so small that it can't be seen. But it's situated in the heart and it's keeping the whole body functioning. Without the soul, the body is just lifeless. So it has that much energy that's keeping the body alive. So although it's so small, you can't really see. But also the super soul also exists in the heart. So there's 2 eternal entities that live in the heart of your body. So the soul and the super soul. And real knowledge actually needs to know what is the body, what is the soul, what is the super soul. Krishna explains that in chapter 13 that there's the Kshetra, which is the field of activities with body, then there's the Kshetra Gya, which is the knower of the body, and then there's 2 knowers of the body, there's the soul and the super soul. And then there's the Jnana, which is knowledge, the understanding of all things. So the soul and the super soul are both eternal, but the super soul, the soul is only able to be conscious of the body, it's not conscious of something else. Because the super soul is the chief knower, he knows everyone's body, he's visiting everyone's body, so he knows everyone's body, what they're going through. And the soul is like subordinate to the super soul. It's not like fully aware of everything. And the jnana, the real knowledge is understanding the heart, the jiva, and material nature faculty. So these 3 things are so important. The knowledge of these 3 things is necessary to actually practice the spiritual life. So the whole problem in this material world is that everyone is thinking that they are this body and that everything that they're relating everything to the body, everyone to the body. So that is actually the main problem in the world, that is body conception and mind. Ahamamiti. I'm his body, everything belongs to his body is mine. So that's why we need this knowledge. So Krishna is giving it to us through Bhagavatam, through Bhagavatam, so that we can actually start to understand the difference and to act in that platform and to start seeing things in relationship to the Lord. Much time says, Krishna looked at us. This is actually the real conclusion we come to understand what is the difference between soul and super soul is that the eternal separation. And that's the relationship. So by going back to yoga, this is a natural process by which we can come to that conclusion and we can act in that capacity that way as eternal separation. So we have different kind of people that try to understand what is the root of existence. So you have the people from yoga, the Samkhya yoga, and so they analyze everything with the analytical knowledge. They come to the conclusion that Vishnu is the root of everything. But then what do you do? We don't do anything. You just like, okay, Vishnu is the root. But when you come, the devotee sees that, okay, Vishnu is the root, now what are the root? I serve Vishnu. So we actually go higher than that. So that's what back to know it's so natural and so like perfect, because we found the root of existence and if we actually serve that root of existence, it's not that we're just fighting the root of existence, and then what? What do we do? The point is to come to that conclusion, and then you have to, what do you do? So, you establish a relationship. So one of the idea is to act in that relationship, and Piyojana is to develop that. So there has to be some sort of, conclusion to all this. Any questions?
So humans definitely are much better placed in understanding spiritual science and attaining that. And we understand like in the gender most past time. He was being Indra in his previous life, I believe. And and as he was like in the suffering state, he remembered kind of he made a call prayer and he remembered all. Uh, but does it mention who was the spiritual master or guru for the changer?
Or maybe in a previous life with an ancient Maharaj had a spiritual master. I don't think you're not liking that. Because he's an animal. But because of because then it was cursed.
Yes.
So usually the Kshatriyas did have gurus. So in previous life he had a spiritual master. So he really had performed devotional service and stuff.
Now, us humans, we have this golden opportunity to perfect Krishna consciousness. Someone, say, practicing, perhaps let's take this example, practicing Krishna consciousness, and then goes into coma, or someone not practicing Krishna consciousness and goes into coma. Is there a scope for that person to be Krishna conscious?
After you cover the coma.
Yeah, like
Or during the coma.
during the coma, and someone who leaves his body in that coma state.
I'm not sure I can answer that really.
So sometimes, preaching or book distribution or something, people like asking questions, something which is quite extreme, or what in this situation. Sometimes they'll say, okay, what if someone is in coma, then can he become Krishna conscious in coma?
I'm not sure. Usually, if you're in a coma, it means you've done something really sinful and you're in that state. I mean, even in that state, one can try to remember God, but even the child is in the room, in that suffering condition, it remembers the Lord. But then as soon as it comes out, it forgets. You can remember up to 100 verse or something. So anything is possible in that state. But as far as I can understand, very generally, if somebody is in a coma, it means they perform medicine activity or something, and it's not, they're not able to either leave that body or in a conscious state or something like this.
Thank you. In this Bhagavad Gita verse, the qualities of the soul, what does immutable mean?
It's unchangeable.
So, like two things, if you can explain a bit, unchangeable, and is it not in the translation there, immovable also, so otherwise the soul is immovable. That's right. Or what does unchangeable mean?
I mean, it's not changing, like the body is continually changing, like it's growing, dwindling, but the soul doesn't grow, it doesn't dwindle. So it's not like it's going to grow. Same state. Depending on the context, it's meaning like not changing. Because soul does go from one body to another, so it doesn't move in one sense.
You can forcibly move it,
Yeah.
like putting from one body to another. Or maybe we can't change the position of the soul, like from heart, we put it in our knees or in our head, something like that.
Immovable. Maybe it can be moved from its spiritual state. Many things, it depends on what God is moving. As far as I can understand, mutable is without change, without change. Immovable, similar. And then he's describing the different, it can't be moistened by, can't be cut by weapons, moistened by water, because on the battlefield, they'll be using different kinds of weapons, like the water weapon, the wind weapon, fire weapon. So Krishna's shooting, you're shooting Arjuna, you know, you won't be killed by any of these weapons. These weapons. So it's like, I mean, Krishna himself says the soul is amazing, and some people think it is amazing, some people can't understand it at all. So it's not like something that we can really understand fully, unless we're really spiritually advanced, then we can understand the body of the soul, and we have eternal form, eternal service to Krishna. In that state, we can understand this body. We do get affected by the bodily symptoms and the heat and cold and the different disturbances the body gives us. It doesn't mean we don't feel, but we don't get disturbed by them. It's different. We may feel them, but we don't get disturbed by them because we understand them all.
Just we were just speaking at the start and we're going to see that it just came to me remember that Srila Prabhupada's disciple, great saint, Tribhuvan, So I sat back to Jagannatha when he passed away in Brazil. His body didn't get returned to the man for 2 weeks. So I've never seen a human body before. I was about 30 years old, but I still never seen a dead body. So when he came back 2 weeks later, he was on the stage and it was all very emotional. His starting up personality, so emotions were strong. And when we queued up to go and see his body all by some flags for the last art show. And then when I got to the stage and I was there looking in his coffin, that's the first thing that was thinking, this isn't true. It did just look like a man in two schools, wax, flowers, and then I thought, wow, he's teaching me from his grave, teaching even after his showing me that. It was quite powerful, profound. And I think it's something that any human being can have those type of experiences. You see it and you just think, wow, that's not true. That's it's true. It's not probably dead arguments. It's very powerful to stay with the actual teaching. It's quite clear. It's many ways you can see. It's a beautiful pastime. Another colonial was there. We were all like so many of us were crying, like I don't understand this part of it. But Mother Columba's there like jumping up and down with joy. She knows he's got back to the spiritual world. She's in ecstasy in that with certain animating his body and where we walk behind, she's standing at the door. It's just it's very beautiful to see realization.
I appreciate this. We also have another Judy. I don't know if you know our story, but she had brain cancer, brain tumor, and then she started to like get. She was taking steroids for brain tumor, and she started to and then she started losing the ability to walk. She was bedridden, and she started being blind. So many things. But through the whole thing, it was amazing how she was not affected by all these bodily things, The doctors couldn't believe it that she didn't want to take morphine because she was going through so much pain, but she didn't take any painkillers. They can't understand why she wasn't taking any painkillers. Because she had transcended the bodily platform. She was actually absorbed in meditating in Krishna, absorbed in her actual spiritual identity and her service to Krishna. She was revealing all these amazing things because and she could, she wasn't living in this material world. She was actually living in the spiritual world, although she was, with us. For us, that was we read all these things in the books, but when we see an example, a living example amongst us through that, then it actually affects us much more deeper and gives us so much more faith that this process actually works. It's actually a process that's not just in the Shastra, it's not just like a theory, it's actually real, and somebody who's actually living amongst us was going through that. And it was amazing how she could, and she, although she was blind, she could actually see things, like she could see something that was in another room, what was happening, or she's like the super soul was, she was like in touch with the super soul. It's just amazing experiences we had with her. So that really helped us to understand actually this is what it means, to be on that platform, that we're not this body. And very, very amazing. There's a book called Thinking for the Simple. You can read that. It's an amazing book. Because I remember, because I was here with Mother and Judy was here, she was one of the first persons who showed me in the kitchen how to cook. So she was traveled to South. And just amazing to go to see how devotee lives and how they constantly in that pure Krishna consciousness. It's just amazing to see.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And I was just speaking with Prana Guru this morning, he was talking about styles. And it's like these experiences where we have that opportunity to have association and stuff like that. And these sorts of deep impressions in consciousness that they can carry a person for their life, you know, in their Christian consciousness, keep them connected no matter what might happen in their life. It will kind of draw them back to Krishna because it's such deep impressions that can keep us connected.
The experience is actually like, it's more real and it's more like you can faith will increase the experience more than just reading and just, you know, others saying it, but we experience it ourselves. That's actually the real thing that makes us have faith, really. So, yeah, so that's, for me, I feel really fortunate to have that experience myself, to be able to be in touch with somebody that understand this, you know, what we have to go through to actually get purified and go back to the spiritual world. You know, it's not cheap. It's not like it's like an easy journey, you know. It's very, to see her to go through all that pain and suffering is very, very like difficult for us. It's like, you know, she was already very pure anyway. Even she had to go through that. So I think, well, what for me? You know, I've got to go through.
Teaching, technical sharing.
What year did she pass away?
I think it's 1983.
No,
19.
99 or 2000?
No,
90 somewhere ago.
oh, sorry, not 1984, 90s.
December, no?
I think it was 1990. Because I joined in 1990 and it was 1994. Days came in 1996, so it was before the deities came.
Oh,
1990.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I invented it for, I have to find out. I said, does it not say on the invitation?
She was living in room number 15.
Include one.
Oh.
I don't know what number it is. Yeah, yeah, it's very special.
And very amazing book that she was in first one.
Definitely responsible doing because it's not the whole like every detail, but the main things that happened. And yeah, we see Mother Jane become very like childlike in her as she was, you know, revealing these things. It's like amazing, just good, and she was so humble and tolerant. All the qualities of the saints, really. She, you know, showed all those qualities. Really nice, perfect example for us. She wasn't very well known throughout the world, but you know, it was just so like we're so fortunate somebody like that is here. And we actually could associate with and just it's a good example.
Yeah, Prabhu mentions after she left, like devotees had to, like 5 different devotees had to cover her services. She used to have the love and emotion she used to have for the community and the devotees. When devotees used to go to Sankirtan, she was very coming from Sankirtan also, and even like in a ill health, bad health, like she would notice devotees going Sankirtan coming and they would not, she would not let them.
Yeah, it was very beautiful mood she had going through all that pain and suffering, she, she was always kind to the devotees, and she never wanted them to serve her. She was very humble, very, very saintly. So that's somebody who could understand what is, with all that happening. And they're living in that way, not like so attached to the stock. With everybody else. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this stuff. Skantashi Bhagavatam,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Always Jagannath Priya Devi.
Yeah.